Namaskar. Today we are going to discuss about this title named Introduction to HIV/AIDS and Family Education. Before we get into the actual content, I would request all the learners to give a thought about this program, about how this program originated in School of Social Work. So I would like to take this by giving a brief history about this program, how it was developed, and the context in which this program was felt necessary, and it has almost the program has been launched for more than now. Initially, it was launched in 2003 or 4. And it has gone through various revisions, and today you would be listening to this present program. It is offered both in certificate and diploma. So just getting into the topic, I would also like to share you some of the insights about how this program was conceptualized. So it was one of the pioneering and the first programs of School of Social Work. The School of Social Work was established in the year 2007. So when this program was conceptualized, the school was not established. It was in School of Continuing Education this program was launched. And the program got launched initially with certificate program, that what we call it as certificate in HIV and family education, and subsequently a diploma program in HIV/AIDS and family education was launched. So after these two programs, which was initially launched in School of Continuing Education, and we got our status quo, that is School of Social Work, in the year 2007. As a new school, it was established, and subsequently the first revision of this program happened in the year 2008. And after about more than 10 years, I think, in 2018, the second revision took place, and currently we are in the process of revising again, depending upon the cross-cutting issues that have emerged, particularly in this dynamic topic on HIV/AIDS and family education, which we are planning to incorporate after doing an in-depth study, basically involving basically we want to do a program evaluation of this, both the programs CAFÉ and DAFE, and incorporate those suggestions and make it more vibrant and dynamic as per the needs and requirement of the present situation. So this is broadly a kind of the journey that has taken place, especially in developing both the programs, that is CAFÉ and DAFE program in School of Social Work. So these are the initial programs, and from this program we further developed the flagship programs of School of Social Work, that is Bachelor's in Social Work and Master's in Social Work. So there are contents in both Bachelor's and Master's program in Social Work where we have adopted substantial content from both this CAFÉ and DAFE program. So this is a kind of a brief about its origin, and the reason why this program was launched, the rationale or the justification was that India is also was one of the nations which was severely, it was affected by HIV/AIDS epidemic, and in order to respond to that epidemic and also to give a non-biomedical model. We wanted to introduce this program by having the social science perspective about this disease, and that's why this program became even more significant and important when we say when we launched this program. So the takers of this program, who are our students? So we had kept the eligibility of this program as 10+2, and you can also see in the slide the eligibility of this program is 10+2 or matriculation with higher qualification recognized by central or state government. As far as the CAFÉ program is concerned, that is Certificate in HIV/AIDS and Family Education, the minimum duration of this program is 6 months, and when compared to the DAFE, it is minimum duration is 1 year, and both the programs, CAFÉ and DAFE, are offered in both Hindi medium as well as in English medium. So the need was definitely driven by which made us to offer this program in both the languages. And I would also like to give a brief about the admission data cumulative till the last cycle. We have almost, for CAFÉ so far, we have 11,228 students who are enrolled, taken admissions for this program, and in DAFE we have about 14,195 students who have taken admission. Here it is also important to say that the admission, the number is you can see in the screen, but the pass percentage is quite low. So it is also a concern, but at the same time it also indicates that the entry into IGNOU programs it is easy, but exit becomes difficult. So it is both the ways. A student who is sincere is able to complete the program on time, and others who have other difficulties due to various other constraints, they are unable to complete the program, and that is what we are seeing. There are a lot of dropouts also. So this is to give you a kind of a picture about what is the admission status, and still this program, as I told you earlier, it was first revised in 2008. So the program was launched in somewhere between 2003 and 4. So since then, and we have been seeing that the epidemic is still, it is there in our country, and therefore the relevance of this program can never be disputed. Although the program has undergone series of revisions, we also see that there are takers even now, and we are also trying to improvise by putting a lot of other inputs, cross-cutting issues, especially which are emerging, and this is the plus point about this programs, and that's why we are also getting more and more students who are enrolling for this. And to look at who are our students, it is very interesting. The title of this program, since it talks about HIV/AIDS and family education, so the takers are both, we from our analytics, data analytics, we could see that the takers are both from science streams as well as from social science streams. So this also gives an indication that this program has quite gelled, and because of its multidisciplinary nature, students from across the disciplines have shown interest, and because of the design of this programs are in such a way that it is not very too scientific to or it is also not it keeps the perspective intact, and as I told you in the beginning, here we are also looking at it from the social science perspective, and we are also seeing how HIV/AIDS and how it is impacting not just the individuals but also the society and also the community and also the nation at large. So it is this rationale or the justification which has made this program even relevant even today, and since it has gone through a long journey and it has been revised subsequently, 2 revisions have already had happened. So the takers are still are quite keen to, and they also give their feedbacks, and that's what it is motivating us to offer this program, and that is a good thing that we have noticed. So I would straight away take you to the program structure of both these programs, CAFÉ and DAFE. I'm taking both the programs together because both the programs, the courses are same. The only option that we have given for certificate program is that here, out of 6 courses that is in offer, for certificate program, it is a student has to complete 4 courses out of 6 courses, whereas in diploma program, all the 6 courses are mandatory. You can see in the PPT that there are compulsory courses and optional courses. In compulsory courses, we have 2 courses, namely Introduction to HIV/AIDS and Basics of Family Education, BFE 101 and BFE 102. So these are compulsory courses for students who are enrolled or take admission for certificate in HIV/AIDS and family education program. So these 2 courses they have to take because it's a compulsory course, and in the optional courses there are 4 courses. I'll just read out. Elective on HIV/AIDS, BFEE 101. Elective on Family Education, BFEE 102. Alcohol, Drugs and HIV, BFEE 103. Communication and Counseling in HIV/AIDS, that is BFEE 104. So out of these 4 courses, a student who is enrolled in Certificate in HIV/AIDS and Family Education program has to choose 2 courses. So compulsory 2 courses and optional courses 2 courses. So total is 4 courses, which makes, and each course is of 4 credits, and therefore 16 credits total. So a student, if he or she completes the 16 credits course, will be awarded a certificate in HIV/AIDS and family education degree. Similarly, for diploma program, which is a 1-year program, the courses remain the same, but what changes is that all the 6 courses are compulsory. And as I told earlier, each course is of 4 credits, and 6 courses are there. So total is 24 credits. So a student who completes this 24 credits courses, they are awarded diploma in HIV/AIDS and family education degree. So this is a broad framework in terms of the program structure that we have discussed, and we also see earlier in our when the program was launched, there was a project component, but in the subsequent revisions we have removed the project component, and therefore even today we have query about this project component, whether it is whether this project is continued or not. It has been raised by many students, so we tell our students that in the revised version, this is the program structure where it is all just theory courses and there is no project component. So let's get into knowing more about the learning outcomes. So once you join this course, both certificate course as certificate program as well as diploma program, what is the learning outcome? That is what matters to the learners, because any student who enrolls or who takes admission into IGNOU programs is informed about what is the outcome, what is the learning outcome if I choose this program. So I want to list out to our learners briefly about what are the broad learning outcomes of both our CAFÉ and DAFE program. So the first and the important learning outcome of both the programs are we come to an understanding about what is what, why, how of HIV/AIDS. So we get to know about a comprehensive knowledge about the nature, transmission and prevention of HIV/AIDS. Along with this, there are also a lot of myths and misconceptions, and this particular course also gives immense knowledge about how HIV/AIDS is transmitted, what are the myths and misconceptions surrounded with HIV/AIDS, and there are also preventions. There are also prevention methods. There are how one can prevent from HIV/AIDS epidemic. All this is dealt in detail in this program. And the second learning outcome what we talk about is awareness of social implications. As I told you in the beginning, this program, it is balanced in such a way that it is neither too scientific, it is not giving you technical and too much of scientific knowledge, but there is a balance between where it is required. We are providing the scientific information about HIV/AIDS. At the same time, we are also more concerned about its implications, particularly the social implications of this disease, how it impacts an individual, how it impacts the family, how it impacts the community and the society at large. So all these aspects are it is covered in an extensive manner. So awareness of social implications is one of the learning outcome that we are ensuring in both these programs, where one can understand the social, cultural and economic implications of HIV/AIDS on individuals, families and communities. So this is a very crucial and an important aspect that stands away, like it makes it different, this program, just because of this component of looking at HIV/AIDS from this lens, that is social, economic and cultural aspects, how it impacts not just the individual but family, society, and the community at large. So this is what it makes this program quite different from other programs. So this is one of the an important learning outcome that I can vouch for our learners if you are taking up this program. The third learning outcome that is evident is prevention and care strategies. So when we talk about prevention and care strategies, there are different strategies for HIV/AIDS which are developed in terms of prevention, care, and support for affected individuals and their families. So, prevention is better than cure is the proverbial statement, but it is true even for HIV/AIDS. Prevention, primary prevention, is the best strategy which is universally accepted across the world. However, people who are infected with HIV/AIDS, we have to also address this issue, and how it is not just the individual who is is infected, but also the families, the society at large are also affected by this disease. So this prevention strategies, there are different prevention strategies are developed over a period of time because of the epidemic. Initially it was the first case of HIV/AIDS that was detected in India was way back in 1986, and it's a long journey, and we have seen different models, different strategies which has made an impact, and we have learned this lesson in this long duration, and this has been encapsulated into this program, and this is also one of the strong learning outcomes that we can learn during this in both these programs. Coming to the next learning outcome, which is very crucial and important, is the communication skills. And usually in any of these programs which seems to be more of science oriented, the communication skill, the behavior change and communication skill, how one can bring about behavior change through effective communication, is also, it's extensively dealt in both these programs, and therefore this becomes one of the strongest learning outcome that we can see in both these programs. So communication skills, here one can see how communication skills are effectively can disseminate information and educate diverse populations about HIV/AIDS. So we understand there is lot of messages, lot of information about HIV/AIDS, but still there is a huge gap between a person who receives this and actually puts it into practice. And therefore, this is an emerging field of study by itself, how one can bring about behavior change communication so that a person can be informed, and how a person can receive this information and put them into action. Many times we receive information, but somewhere it is not put into action, and therefore we see there is a lot of gap, which results in this chain of epidemic doesn't get broken. And therefore it is very important when we talk about this communication skill. So this is one of an important learning outcome that we can ensure in both these programs. Moving on, we also see there is an emphasis on policy and legal framework which is extensively dealt in these programs. So one of the strongest or strong learning outcome of both the programs are it has a legal and policy framework in which HIV/AIDS is conceptualized, and this is extensively it is covered in both these programs. So how one can gain insight into national and international policies and legal frameworks related to HIV/AIDS. So these are some of the interesting and some of the interesting learning outcomes one can ensure if any students who are willing to register for this program. And similarly, there are support systems. We talk about, this program talks about the support systems, how these support systems and services are available for people infected with HIV/AIDS as well as affected with HIV/AIDS. So on one hand, the focus is on prevention, but on the other hand, we are also taking care of people who are already infected with HIV/AIDS, and it becomes our responsibility to see that how we provide a conducive and holistic support system so that they can deal with the situation. And moving ahead, we also see one of the unique learning outcome one can expect from this program is that an extensive coverage is given on counseling techniques. So there is this the basic counseling skills to support and guide individuals and families affected by HIV/AIDS is also covered in this program. So this becomes a tool for individuals to understand how to deal with situations where we confront with persons with HIV/AIDS and their families. But this program is not sufficient for an individual to just say keep to be to say that by taking up this program one can become an effective counselor. No, this is just the beginning and initial content that we have provided, but it requires expertise and technicalities which you have to do additional programs along with this. This just gives an overview. So these are some of the learning outcomes one can list out, and I'm sure as a learner this learning, all these learning outcomes can become a plus point for you to take up this program, and we are willing to support all our learners, especially who want to enroll for CAFÉ and DAFE program, and this program can be taken further with your cooperation and with your participation in a much bigger way. Thank you.